I'm back in Japan and I'm thrilled to be here. If it's your first time here, hey, I'm Kira and I like to hike all around the world and take you with me. Just set up my tent here by a beautiful river. I'm in a bamboo forest and I've been pondering, I've been thinking about the things that I think are essential for every solo female hiker, or generally just any hiker. Like, what's the essential items that we need to be thinking about before we go out on an adventure? I've brought way too much gear on this trip. So let's get started. Let's start with the most important thing. Number one, water. When thinking about going hiking, water is so important. You need to think about what water filter works for you, and this can sometimes take a bit of time to find out which one you like better, because there's water purification tablets out there, and sometimes the taste cannot be so good. There's also water filter straws. I personally don't like them because I feel like I can't enjoy the water because I'm sucking the water through a filter. I prefer these water filters that do the water filtering for you through another device, and you pour the filtered water straight into another vessel to drink easily. Number two, sun. Things to think about for sun protection is, of course, a hat. You want to be getting some good quality UV rated sunglasses. Don't be like me. I used to not even bother about the UV rating. And getting some sunscreen. That you need to get UVA and UVB strong sunscreen. So look for both those things, UVA and UVB, when you're looking for a good quality sunscreen. I've actually had some skin cancer burned off my face. Yeah, just be careful out there, guys. And then there was light. Number three is a light source. Do not rely on your mobile phone as your torch, because this is really important for number five. This is for emergencies. You're going to need it if you need to go pee in the night, if you get lost, you need to hike at the night. Seriously, pack one. I use this one here. It's rechargeable. I really suggest getting something rechargeable. Much more easy, no batteries needed. Number four, snacks. This is something you really need to think about. If you're going hiking for the first time, you have to realize that it's quite a heavy endurance activity, that your body will probably need more fuel during this time. So bring a lot of snacks, more snacks than you think you'll need. Bring power protein bars, things like that. I always have backups of my dried food. This is really important because you just never know out there. Like if I'm going on a 7-day hike, I might need a backup meal. I might meet someone who also has no food and they might need a backup meal. I've done before is I've left with my stove and I've forgotten a lighter. So don't be like me. Always pack your lighter so that you can light your stove and cook your food. There's lots of ways to make fire as well, which I won't go into here, but just always remember that you need a fire source. We're halfway and we're up to number five. I feel like this one is the most important of the top 10. So listen up. Something that's highly overlooked by first-time hikers is, what are they going to do in a plan B? Like, what if everything goes wrong, they fall down, they broke their leg, they can't go anywhere, and no one knows where they are? What are they going to do? They don't even have reception. This is where I use the bivy stick. This is so important for a hiker to have with them because it is a two-way satellite communication device. This turns your phone into a satellite phone. So if there's no reception and you're in that scenario where you need help, what you can do is use this to get that signal, use your phone to contact someone for help. SOS button on the bottom. You don't even need your phone. I can just press that button on the bottom and I can get global rescue wherever I am. I don't just use the bivy stick for emergencies. I can also check the weather with it. So as you can see, I don't have the rain cover on my tent tonight. I know it's not going to rain because I used the app earlier to check the weather forecast. So tonight I can look at the stars straight from my tent. But one of my favorite things I love about having the bivy stick on my adventures is that once I've found my campsite for the night, I can send a message home to my family and friends and let them know that I've arrived safe, and my GPS coordinates are automatically determined and connected to that message so that they know where I am and they know I'm safe and sound. Number six, do not be caught out without walking sticks, especially in wet areas. I've just hiked the Komono in Japan and it's one of the wettest areas to hike. The trail is basically exposed roots, and when they get wet, they're incredibly slippery. These things here saved me from some very nasty disasters. So I would really highly suggest any new hikers to get some walking sticks. If you're not sure you want to invest, just test out some normal sticks and see if they can help with your pace and help with your balance. I find that it really helps when I have a full pack on to keep me upright and in good posture. Number 7 is power banks. This is something to really think about if you're going on an adventure. I just dropped it. I use a very powerful and lightweight power bank. These are great. I use it to charge the bivy stick. I use it to charge my phone. I use it to charge my light. They are great if you're going on a long hiking adventure. Even just having one as a backup in case your phone battery got drained, for example. Make sure you always bring the right cable. I've done it before where I've left with the wrong cable. Not a good idea. While on the topic of phones, let's chat about maps and navigation. Now, you really want to think about this one because it's very important to know where you want to go and how to get there safely. I suggest getting an offline map, like getting the Maps.me downloaded, or you can download all trails and have maps offline through that. Having a printed version is really important as well if the trail is a little bit tricky. If you're hiking in a group, not one person should be responsible for the maps. Everyone should have the maps accessible to them on their phone or another device, because if there is an emergency and that person just lost their phone, for example, you need to have a backup. I also use my watch. I have my map uploaded onto that and I can quickly glance at it when I need to know where I'm going. Number 9, let's talk about first aid kits. Now, for your first aid kit, you really want to have some vital things in there. So you probably know what are the basics, but one thing people overlook is an emergency blanket. Now, this emergency blanket has come in extremely handy for me, especially the last time I was in Japan. I was camping and the weather just changed suddenly and the temperature dropped. My sleeping bag wasn't fit for that temperature, so I ended up using my sleeping bag with the emergency blanket together, and it saved me that night. So having an emergency blanket available is highly, highly recommended. Number 10, clothing. This is really dependable on where you're going. So if you're going somewhere really wet, you need to be thinking about wet weather clothing, things that dry quickly, things that are going to be good in the rain. If you're going to be climbing a mountain, you got to think about that maybe at the top the weather is going to be really cold compared to the bottom. So bring some thermals. So I think that's one thing that people overlook when they go hiking for the first time is the weather and how things can change really quickly out there in nature. I would suggest looking at getting a really good wet weather rain jacket. When I first got into hiking, I bought the cheapest rain jacket that I could find, thinking that they're all the same. Trust me, they're not. You need a good quality rain jacket. Keep this with you at all times because you just never know when it might rain. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope this provided you some value for your next hiking adventure. If you want to know more about what I do, head over to Instagram where I post more regularly. And please, in the comments, leave any more tips so that people watching this video can gain more knowledge and we can all grow as a community and get more outdoors. Bye. See you soon. Bye.